With regard to item number 1, I think the board is well aware that I've made a couple of complaints that were filed fully by documentation. In my opinion, the board has had sufficient time to do something. And I have not been apprised of what the situation is. I did send an email a couple of months back. Mr. Bankston said, we'll let you know when we're ready to let you know, basically, I'm paraphrasing. But I do believe that sufficient time has been elapsed for me to get some kind of feedback on those complaints. So I'm going to proceed accordingly, and I will point out that when the complaint was filed against me, there would seem to be lightning speed on how that one could be processed, so I find it to be in sharp contrast with the way those particular complaints are being processed or lack thereof. But like I said, I will proceed on accordingly.
Two different emails. I don't know that I refer to it as a complaint against an auctioneer, because it was not. It was a complaint against staff members by Mr. Burns, in which he sent 2 lengthy emails, one of August the 6th and another of September the 13th, complaining about the conduct of Sandy Edmonds. Specifically, Mr. Burns complained that Ms. Sandy Edmonds interacted with Nick Clark, a Mississippi auctioneer. Mr. Burns requested that the conduct he complains of be placed on the agenda for discussion. Before we placed it on the agenda or considered it, I had a conversation and discussion with Mr. Nick Clark, and thus, to the extent of whether to recommend that it be placed on the agenda for further action, but to the extent of the interview with Mr. Nick Clark, I thought it was important to relay this information to the board to consider what to do in the future. Mr. Burns continued that while speaking to Mr. Clark, Ms. Edmonds defamed Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns further complained that Ms. Edmonds provided legal expertise to Mr. Clark and dissuaded Mr. Clark from filing a complaint. Our office spoke to Mr. Clark on September 14th regarding Mr. Burns' aforementioned complaints. In response, Mr. Clark made the following statements. Any conversations I have had with Sandy have been professional and respectful. Mr. Burns is making a mountain out of a molehill. I just asked a question, and she, being Sandy Edmonds, answered it for me, and there was nothing else to be said. I don't know what the hell he, Robert Burns, is talking about, and I have had 2 dealings. I've had maybe 2 dealings other than renewing my license with the board. In each and every case, Sandy has been, and I'll say again, respectful and professional. We can throw that Mr. Burns' complaint in the garbage. When asked whether Mr. Clark wanted to file a complaint with the board, Mr. Clark responded as follows. Absolutely not. I'm not filing a thing, and nobody has done things to provoke me to file anything. I don't need anybody putting words in my mouth. This lady there, Miss Sandy, does a damn good job. You need to be careful what who you talk to. I don't want to be part of this. She, Miss Sandy Edmonds, has been very nice to me, and I have no complaints whatsoever. In respect, Mr. Burns has requested this be placed on the agenda for discussion of Mr. Edmonds' behavior. Based upon my review of this information and my conversation with Mr. Clark, I do not believe that there is any need to place this item on the agenda for further consideration.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Sandy Edmonds.
Mr. Bankston, let's get an independent polygrapher. I will pay for it. I know what Mr. Clark said. I know what I said. I will pay for the polygrapher for both of us. The needle's not going to move with me. Take it to the bank. Also, and I have the phone record where he called me. Now, I can understand a reluctance to seem adversarial to a licensing board that holds whether you can conduct auctions in this state. What you just read, if he said it, doesn't remotely rematch what he said on that phone to me. Bring in the polygrapher, bring him in. I'm ready to take the polygraph right now.